beautiful Gemini, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career reading for the end of February right through to the end of March 2023. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I will also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is your career reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to let you know, your 10th house is currently influencing you, and that is all about your career, your ambition, your reputation, and what you're known for in your industry. So this is really a time to make your mark in your career and be that unforgettable force that takes you on target to meet your goals, okay? Now also, your 4th house is influencing you as well. That's from around about the 20th of February, and that's where you feel like you belong. So you may be looking at, whether you feel content in where you're working right now, whether you work from yourself or from home, or whether you work for a company. This is all about what you do and whether you feel fulfilled and stable in the situation. So you'll be looking about, seeing how far you've come on your path, seeing how far you have to go. It's really a period of checking in and evaluating all that has gone on before and where you feel like you want to take it from here on in. Now we do have the shadow self. We've got cause and effect there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? We've got a tower there as well. And we have the World card. So this indicates that there is some difficult energies that you have been navigating. I mean, the Devil card indicates perhaps some of you have been obsessively working away on something. You've been putting in a lot of effort, and you may be feeling it's like a repetitive cycle. You may even feel that you're bound to your work at this present moment in time, and that you need to liberate yourself in some way from that situation. Very explosive energy there. We got the 5 of Wands. Some of you may feel like you're working in a toxic environment where there's a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, because that 5 of Wands is like very competitive environment. But I'll check in with the energies first before I move forward. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Interesting that I said move forward and the 8 of Wands came out, because you are moving forward. There is some really great news coming in your career, and there is more money attached to it as well. Some of you may even be like, there's the 7 of Pentacles, okay? 7 of Pentacles is really at that self-evaluation period. Really, you've been very flexible in your working career, and I feel like you're really checking in to see if you are happy where you're at or whether you want to move on. 6 of Swords indicates some of you will want to move on, and there's a new opportunity coming on in here that's going to bring a lot more money, but it does indicate that you're walking away from something. As we approach, the next full moon is actually the last full moon of winter, and then we of course step into the spring months, and that tends to be when people want to make changes. And I definitely see this happening in everybody's reading. It's like, you know what, I'm just feeling a little bit like antsy. It's time to reevaluate. It's time to bring new energy into the career. So I definitely see this across the board in everybody's reading. But let's see what's happening in yours, okay? Now we've got basically the Devil card, okay, number 15. So you may feel stuck in something right now, or you feel, some of you, this could be that you're addicted to your work and you're obsessively working on a project that you feel has not come to fruition yet, and you don't want any distractions. But some of you are really connecting to whether you feel it's worth it, the effort that you're putting in. You're a bit conflicted as to something that you're working towards, you're like, it hasn't borne any fruit yet, or it hasn't really open up for you. But I definitely see that you are taking a step away from any difficulties in your career. So even if you stay where you're at physically, I feel like you're having a real epiphany moment or a new way of thinking about your career where you address a situation. I mean, right now in the water, they're showing me a screwdriver and a screw. Okay, so it seems like someone's like doing some DIY. I mean, it could be you that you're listening to this and you're literally doing some DIY. It could also mean that, you know, you're trying to solidify plans that you have in your career. Maybe you feel there's something that needs fixing in your career right now, and you are the one to do it. I mean, you've got the Devil card there, which means there's a situation that perhaps you feel is not healthy for you at this moment in time. Some of you may be, trying to manage your stress levels, or there's been a lot of pressure at your environment where you work, or even if you work for yourself, you may feel like the pressure's really been on to keep up with the competition or keep relevant in your career in some way. Remember, they just gave me a sentence, less is more. Less is more. So this can mean, leave people wanting more. Or if you're always there to do it all and, running around like a headless chicken, trying to, not please everybody, because I don't get that energy from you, my beautiful Gemini. What I do get, though, is, you are serious about your work. You're serious about your career. So therefore, you're trying to do everything physically possible to make your dreams become a reality. But sometimes when we do a little bit less, allow people to miss us, or allow people to realize what a, tower of strength you really are in your career, in your working environment, okay? So there's just something about that coming out there as well. Now, with the Devil card, this can also mean that some of you are obsessed with finances. You may be in training, for example, for something, or you may think about putting yourself on a course of learning to open yourself up to new pay brackets. I definitely see that some of you may want to fast track your career, but I feel slow and steady wins the race. You're going to have a major breakthrough. There's, you're going to reach a goal that's going to bring a lot of abundance, and your plan is working, but things are going to pick up pace for you, but there's no need to fast track it, okay, is what I'm picking up on. I'm just going to pull a card on this Devil card, because the shadow self tends to throw up some fears. It tends to make us look at areas where we feel that we have not got the qualifications, or we feel something's missing on our resume or CV, or we feel, right now we're not in the headspace to really focus on something that we perhaps should. So let me just pull a card on that. The Devil card can also indicate that you're working in an environment that is putting the pressure on. There's a clock right there. Some of you may be worried about time. You may feel like time is running out to make the money that you want, or you may feel like you're in an environment that puts the pressure on and almost, how can I put that? Plays people off each other, where it's like they give you incentives to make money and you get commission, but you're always having to fight for the bottom line. And it's not a healthy environment is what I see here. We got the Emperor, we've got the Magician, we've got the Seven of Swords, and we got the Death card, okay? So this can mean that the hierarchy is so controlling and you feel that there's no elevation in your career, because we got the Emperor there, which is like someone who's in a position of power, who's very closed off, but who is, someone who can be a little bit ruthless sometimes, and they try to protect their position, so they're going nowhere. And we've got the Magician card energy, which is about control, but it's also about manifestation and accomplishment. You've got a lot of talents, so you may feel that you're stuck in a situation where you're not reaching your full potential, so you want to challenge yourself a little bit more and see what else is out there. With the Seven of Swords, there is a desire to be independent. At grassroots, the Seven of Swords is not a negative card. Anything in the tarot that's golden or yellow tends to be positive. And the Seven of Swords is a card of, wanting to do something diplomatically, independently, march to the beat of your own drum, not be a people pleaser, and live life on your own terms. The character in this card, the history of it, they literally want to take away the weaponry so that they find an alternative way to communicate or resolve a situation. So you may feel that someone or something in your situation is a negative force, or they speak unkindly or unfairly, or they're just unapproachable, and you want to find an alternative way to approach the situation without having to fight for it, or put anyone's nose out of joint. Also, the Seven of Swords is a card that reminds you, don't go too quickly, because you may miss something that's really valuable for you long term. Okay, as you can see, that figure is stealthily taking the swords, removing 5 in total, 3 in one hand, 2 in the other. Could have taken 3 in both hands, but has left 2 behind because they've gone too quickly. So they had the potential and the opportunity to take the whole 3, but they missed out on it because they went too fast. So I really get this sense that you don't have to fast track anything, my beautiful Gemini, because this opportunity that's coming on in for you, it will never pass you by. It's meant for you, so it will land in your lap. But you worked for it, so it's not just, fate bringing you something. It's also something that you worked really hard for. The Death card indicates change, transformation. You know that something needs to change here, and you may feel that perhaps people that you work with, they're stuck in their old ways. They're stuck in a set of ways that do not apply to you, because you tend to be a maverick. You tend to be a visionary. You see things differently from other people, especially since you're an air element. Okay, you've got wonderful ideas, and you just got a different way of approaching a situation, and it tends to be more efficient, but people who are stuck in their ways may not see that. So you may think, well, it's time for change, and if these people won't change, perhaps it's time for you to change. So you may be ending this position or leaving this behind, or perhaps you're in a transition of seeing things from a different perspective and leaving an old way of thinking. Like, I don't get the sense that you're like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't get that at all, because I feel like you're standing true to your situation. I feel like you're standing up. You're not like giving up on the situation. You're standing up to the hierarchy. Literally, that Death card, as you can see, the death symbol there on the horse is standing up to it's almost like confronting the hierarchy, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant represents the establishment, or the things that have always been that way. So I really feel like you are someone who is trying to be that maverick, or challenge the status quo in the industry that you're in. So this doesn't have to be that you're literally going up to the boss and going, you know what, the way you run this place, it's just not it's not relevant anymore, or it's not efficient. So therefore, I'm going to show you how to run this place because I know best. You're not doing that. It could literally be that you're doing something different in your industry that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And some people may misconstrue you, or they may misunderstand the way that you're approaching a situation, but you got this, okay? I don't know why they're giving this to me. But they're giving me an image of, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. They give me an image of Al Pacino. Very interesting. But what they're giving me here is, and this may have come up before, or maybe I've read this before, I'm not sure, but they're showing me in the water right now. Al Pacino, when approached to play Godfather, play in the movie The Godfather, they're giving me that people behind the scenes did not think he should have that position, that they felt that he was not ready in his career or mature enough to take on the role. They felt the way that he was playing the role as this quiet, sort of quieter member of the family was just not conducive to the rest of the cast, and felt that they didn't understand why he'd been cast in the first place. And he was almost kicked off the movie because of his performance. He was, understating his performance in some way. And he had a plan, because he saw the transition of the character changing through circumstances. He did not want to be part of the family that he was in. He didn't want to follow that path. But then as circumstances had it, he had to step into those shoes. And then he became a force to be reckoned with. So in the end, they all saw that his performance was perfect, and that actually he's a master of his craft, because he could see, he had the foresight and the empathy and the depth to him to see, to play it that way. But at first, the people who were in the industry for years, who were old hats, there was a certain way of doing things, and they expected something from him that he was not giving, and they were going to get rid of him. But at the same time, I think the movie director fought for him to remain on set, in that character. I think he played the character Michael. I'm not sure. It's many years ago since I saw that film. But they're just giving it to me for a reason. So I feel it's more like, although some people around you may look at the way that you do things like, what the hell are you doing? Or may not understand the path that you're taking. For example, your family may not understand the career choices that you're making. You can see the plan. You can see the goal. You know the little gear shifts that you need to make to get to where you want to go. Stay on your path. Stay true to who you are and what you want to do, because you can see the whole vision and it's your life. This is your performance. This is your life, okay? So I definitely get this sense that you're making changes that will affect your career and in the long term, and they will be so positive. You're going to be so glad you did, okay? Now the death card, I don't know why that came up. So maybe there's a relevance to it. Maybe you just talked about this situation, or perhaps you were just talking about The Godfather or the movie. You've seen it just now, or it can even be in the next 6 weeks or so. You see a quote from that character, or you see the movie. It just pops up on TV as you change channels. There is a reason why everything comes up in my readings. It tends to indicate stay on your path. You will be successful. You'll be known for what you do. Okay, you will be known and you will be recognized and you will be appreciated for what you do. Okay, so the death card in itself is something big is ending in your career. Now, it could be the way that you're doing things. It could also be that you're physically leaving a situation or starting up a new project. But because we got the devil card here and the death card, this indicates you're liberating yourself out of perhaps a bad habit. So if some of you have been procrastinating, you've been working really hard but took some time off to just relax, and you may feel that, when you relax a little bit, we take the foot off the pedal. Sometimes we can come back and not have the same energy or drive that we normally do. So we have a little bit of a procrastination period. That's okay, because I see some of you, you're close to burning yourself out. So make sure you do get time to rest. But if you found that you've been procrastinating long term, and I'm not here to point fingers at you, my beautiful Gemini. We all do it from time to time. I feel like you're changing the way that you move throughout your career. You're looking at competition. You're looking at where you want to be. And I feel like you're making changes in order to get to the goal, the abundance that's coming for you. Now, the Five of Wands is a card of brainstorming. So a lot of you are working towards something, or really, you feel challenged, but in a good way. This is a card of feeling stimulated or, into action. Some of you may actually be training for a higher position, and you may feel that it's taking a long time to get there, but the road to get there, it will be worth it, okay? Five of Wands. Fives tend to be about challenge, but the wands are all about passion. So I feel if you've had any difficulty, or you've been working in an environment where there's a lot of drama and a lot of rivalry and people fighting or squabbling, or even lack of morale and motivation, I feel like you're trying to cut loose from that energy. You're keeping your head down and you're actually focusing on what you need to do. You're focusing without distraction. Okay, so I definitely see whatever it is you're in training for, or whatever it is you're preparing yourself for, the plan that you've got, you reach it, you accomplish your goal. You've got the World card there, and the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Something big is starting for you, something new that brings more money and stability as well. For some of you, you may find it challenging that working in an environment that's been very difficult, and you may think about being self-sufficient, setting up your own business. But what I actually see here is new ideas formulating, where you wonder, you put so much effort in, are you really getting a good deal out of this? Because this card is a card of evaluation, and if you're feeling dissatisfied with all the efforts that you're making, it's not bearing fruit, or you feel there's little reward, you may feel like there's not enough money for the amount of work that you do, you may be planning your escape. You may be planning to move into a new opportunity. So you're putting your resume out there to find an opportunity that really resonates with you. I definitely see you trying to bring a bit more excitement into your career, because you may feel that you're bored, and whenever idle minds may like work for the devil, and you got the devil card there. So I really feel that You may be feeling just a little bit fed up with your circumstances at the moment, but this is a card of checking in with yourself to see how far you are on your path and whether there is an alternative route to get to your goal. Because I feel like you're opening yourself up to a new strategy, okay? You may be at a bit of a crossroads, but you're currently reflecting on your progress and wondering which path to take. And when that happens, it can make us start to feel uncomfortable or uncertain about our path. So if you've been feeling a little bit in limbo, or you've been trying to make a decision on something, take a pause to really reflect on what it is you want out of each situation. I always say to my friends, if you've got a decision to make, visualize yourself in each scenario. See the lifestyle that you will get out of each opportunity. And the one that makes your heart go, oh, that would be great. That's the one for you. Pick that one, but you must find a quiet mind to ask those questions. Now, we do have the cause and effect card in the resistance position, and because we've got the 8 of Wands and the 6 of Swords in the reverse, this is the resistance position, it's almost like you feel that right now you're feeling a little bit stuck, or you feel like your career opportunities have grounded to a halt, okay? So either this is because of competition, or you feel it's just still the knock-on effects of the pandemic. You may feel that, it just feels like you're dissatisfied, and it's just same old thing, just different day, okay? And I feel like you're making a major decision to shake things up a little bit. When you get the Justice card, this is a card about having to make a big decision that your future will be changed by forever. So I feel you're being really honest with yourself in the situation, trying to find balance. Again, there's that energy of trying to have a balancing act. So some of you are literally revamping or restructuring your schedule just to make more time for you and your family as well. With the cause effect card, some of you, there may be some restructures at your working environment where they bring in new contracts, and it may have made you feel a little bit unsettled about the dialogue that's in the contracts. You may feel that there's a little bit of underhandedness. So for example, if you've been at the company for many years and they're giving you a new contract, you may feel that some benefits are being tweaked or taken away, and you may feel like this restructure is just not right. So you may feel that, disgruntled with the environment and it's time to move on. But I also get that you are taking steps. You're in charge of the move, or you're in charge of the direction that you're taking. Also, if you are entering into a new contract with any company, it's definitely worth doing your due diligence. Make sure, you are protected. You've got the 6 of Swords, which means you're being taken out of difficulty. Things are moving in the right direction for you after a long period of feeling very stagnant. If you feel like your boss has promised you to move up and elevate in your career, but they haven't done it, I feel March is a catalyst month where you'll actually see movement in your career, and you'll be surprised that your boss actually comes through for you and gives you the bonus or the promotion that you were promised in the first place. And I feel like there are a lot of opportunities opening up as you become more in tune with what you want. Now, with the 8 of Wands, of course, it starts off in the resistance position, but by the end of March, it's in the upright, which means there is good news, and it means you are moving forward and things are starting to gain momentum in your career. So if things have been at a bit of a standstill, a bit of a halt for a while, that's all about to change. Also, if you feel like your motivation or your drive has just been lacking recently and you're finding it hard to pick up the energy to keep on keeping on, then you're going to get extra boost from I get this from the planetary alignments is what I'm feeling. You're getting an extra boost of energy to help you move forward on your goals. The 8 of Wands literally means you're right on track. There's some really great news that will highlight that and make you see that you are making progress, whereas before you may have felt you're not really making progress at all. But for some of you with the 8 of Wands there and the 6 of Swords, you may actually be the catalyst for change and decide you want to leave a situation behind. And I feel there's this energy of seeking new opportunities. I feel like you're going to be surprised, because by walking out of one situation, a door opens straight to another, pretty much straight away. And I feel like it's a very exciting transition period for you. Six of Swords also indicates that you've been really tested at your working environment. So you may have felt that people got on your nerves, or just things were just getting to you. And the universe has a habit of amplifying negative energy when the universe wants you to move or change something about your circumstances. It gets so overloaded and overwhelming, the universe is like, why haven't you taken the hint already? You hate that person who always taps their pen on their desk. You know, the person by the water cooler talks too loud every time they come to it, and you can't, you know, concentrate on your work. Or the boss is always in a bad mood and throwing stuff or whatever. You know, I'm only saying that because many years ago I used to have a boss who threw everything at me, and I was like, what? You know, anyway, we'll move on from that. Nothing ever hit me, but it was always like throwing stuff on the floor, and I was like, you absolute... I'll refrain from what I call that person. But anyway, they had issues, and I'm so glad I'm not that person, because I could never live in that person's head. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Six of Swords, that's what I feel like you're doing. Moving on, okay? Moving on from a difficult and testing situation. So even if you've decided that, you know, you're liberating yourself out of a difficult obstacle or challenge in your career, and you're staying where you're at. You may work for yourself, for example, and come across some obstacles that have really set you back. You're actually moving on from that. Even if you work in an environment that you think, you know what, it's really bad, but they pay really good money, and I'm not so sure. You know, I feel like you will be given an incentive to leave. Like the universe will actually say, hey, there's a new opportunity that's just popped into your email box. This is the one for you. And then you'll feel compelled on a hunch to just put your resume out there and see if it connects. And suddenly you're in the interview room, and suddenly you've been offered the job, and suddenly you're on the path to even greater success. So I feel it's going to be a bit of a wild ride in your career. Things are changing and picking up pace. Now we do have the Tower energy. The card of revelation. So that's about seeing things clearly, being really honest with yourself, and it's also about liberating yourself from a stuck situation. I'm really excited about your reading because you started off with the Devil card, then you went to the Death card, and now you've got the Tower energy. And the Devil card, the Death card comes first because it's normally like change. If there's stagnation, there is change. The Devil card is like a card of feeling stuck in your situation, but the Tower is the piece de resistance, because it definitely means change, liberating yourself out of a situation where you feel isolated, or you feel like stuck, that you've been going round and round in circles. I mean, some of you may have had a problem that you've been wrestling with in your career, and you're like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm putting all my effort in. It's just not taken off just yet. Suddenly you'll find a solution that liberates yourself, because the Justice card is about finding a resolution to a situation that perhaps has been bugging you for quite some time. Now, I've already talked about someone at your working environment that you feel perhaps has been pushing your buttons, or has been a little bit deceptive, or there's things going on behind the scenes that you're like not happy with. I definitely feel like you're leaving that if that's you, but moving on from that, the Tower energy is, you know, encouraging you to take a leap of faith. So some of you may be deciding to launch something that perhaps you've been holding off for a while, whether it's a new business or whether it's a new branch to a business that you own, or it could be that you want to launch a business, you want to become an entrepreneur. Either way, I feel some of you, whatever it is you're trying to balance. Oh wow, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I just noticed. Okay, I just noticed that they've got loads of stones there. I did tell you that I was gonna show you that. Perhaps I do a little scrying beforehand, and if I didn't mention it, I saw stones being balanced on a balancing act. I'm actually just going to get what I wrote here. I write lots of different images down that come in your scrying. You didn't get so many actually in this time round, but they did give me this one. I hope you can see that. It says balancing act, stones all balanced on top of each other. Okay, that's what I saw in the water when I was scrying before your reading. Okay, I didn't realize it was actually going to be on the World card. The World card is about accomplishing a goal, or balancing everything so that you integrate all your skills and your talents together to make it happen, to make whatever it is you're trying to accomplish happen. Okay, so I definitely see that it's all coming into alignment for you. Now, The World card does indicate that, yes, there's been a lot of lessons learned in your career, and I feel like you're opening yourself up to learning more knowledge, but I get this sense that you're right on target, okay? When you get this card, this can also mean some of you are thinking about relocating physically to a new position, or you're thinking about where in the world you belong. Some of you may be thinking about opening yourself up to opportunities abroad. So you may be like, you know what, I love the sun, so I want to just head off to a working environment where I can soak up the sun when I've got days off and, you know, experience a new shore when it comes to your working environment. Either way, you're finding peace. They're really highlighting peace of mind, a knowingness that you're going to be very, very successful. And the World card is being in the right place at the right time to receive the right opportunity. So I feel, you know, there is an element of completion here with this card. They're also, excuse me, I do apologize. They're also giving me this card, the energy from it. I'm getting that you've got a deeper understanding of your role in your career, and your efforts start to come full circle, okay? You're going to be satisfied with the job that you've done. You're going to be really proud of yourself. And there may be some sort of award or recognition for something that you do, or it could be that you're given that bonus or that raise or a promotion in some way from a working environment, or it can also be that you get like a dream job opportunity, something that you thought would never be possible in the time frame that you've got. But I feel you're making the impossible possible, okay? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So that is about sticking to your goals, working really hard, and being unstoppable in whatever it is that you're focused on. This is your commitment, okay? This is also prosperity. You're attracting more finances, more wealth. This card tends to be that you're multiplying your money. Okay, so you're looking at the Seven of Pentacles going, okay, you know what? The money's not really ripe for the picking right now. There's a little bit, it's nice, but it's not what I'm hoping for. But by the end of the time frame, you're opening yourself up to some more money. So it could also be that you're going to receive like a tax rebate or some sort of financial windfall that comes on in. You're definitely having more money this month than you had last month is what they're showing me. Now also with the Queen of Pentacles and all the other cards here, I feel some of you have overspent last month. Some of you may have done some emotional spending, or been very loose with the cash, shall we say. I mean, the price of living is going up, so you probably have actually just been trying to live, right, and pay for stuff, but everything's going up. But I really get a sense that you are moving yourself out of difficult times and sticking to a really nice budget, let's put it that way. I feel like you're going to be able to save a little bit more money this month. And if you've got children, for example, I really get a sense that you may be a little bit conflicted about a purchase that you have to make for your child, but I feel like you find a really good discount, and actually it gives you a spring in your step because it allows you to save a little bit more this month. Now with the Ten of Swords there, something big is ending. Now this could also be like a sudden epiphany or realization, revelation, because we've got the Tower there and the Ten of Swords. Something's done, or something has not been working. Maybe you feel that you've been working really hard without a break for such a long time and you're exhausted. This can also mean that you've been obsessed with your work, and suddenly the opportunity that you've been working hard towards, the struggle is over. Because this is what this card literally means. The struggle is over. It's gone. You're moving out of difficulty into a period where things are much brighter, much better for you. So I'm just going to pull a quick card on that Ten of Swords to see what it is for you. But it can literally mean that you're gracefully ending a way of working. It doesn't have to be that you are leaving a place. It can mean that you're responding differently to challenging circumstances. So if there's someone who always pushes your buttons at work and you're like, oh my gosh, that person, you may suddenly find the resilience within you to not even notice this person anymore. So I feel whatever changes you're making, they benefit your health. The Lover's card. Now the Lover's card is about finding a perfect match for you. I mean, this is your card. It's about you doing what you love. The grassroots of this card is the law of attraction. Doing something that you have been manifesting for such a long time. Loving what you do. But also, it is a card of choice. So it indicates you're going to make the right choice for you that is in alignment with your values and your motives long term. So you may be contemplating which path to take. And some of you with the Six of Cups are returning to something that you used to love doing. Okay, the Six of Cups literally means an offer is coming on in. Okay, and you may have felt that the good old days, you really enjoyed your work and you have happy memories of enjoying your career, but you may have felt that things have become so difficult that it's hard to enjoy at the same time as be successful. But that's all about to change for you. Okay, now some of you may also decide to take up a partnership or partner with a company or an environment that you've always wanted to partner with. Could also be a dream job opportunity that you've always wanted since you were younger. Suddenly it becomes a reality. Suddenly everything is working in your favor. Six of Cups though indicates a really positive message where you're appreciated. So I do feel like someone at your working environment or even in your industry is going to tell you how much they appreciate your hard work. And I feel that they actually have an offer for you. I mean, it could be someone that you used to work with as well. Could be someone that you either worked with or a friend. There's an offer coming on in that I feel is too good to miss. Okay, and here it is. We've got the Ace of Wands. This is a transformation in your career, and it indicates more passion. It indicates that you are closer than ever before to turning your dreams into reality. And this is you having access to that creative power, being inspired, that motivation returning so that you can take action on the ideas that you've been having. Also, this is a desire to initiate change in your career. So I definitely see like a major transformation in your career that you're going to be happy with. As you can see there, we've got the clouds. They're really dark clouds. So out of difficulty comes sudden ideas, inspiration. A new project could even be offered. So if you stay where you're at, your boss may come out with a new promotion or a project that you will figurehead, or a step up the ladder you'll be stepping into. Because I actually see here that you get more status, or you step into a position where you have like a title. So even if you are your own boss, I feel there is like a client, a lucrative client that comes your way, or an interest that elevates you to more financial gain or more success. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up, more success. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I'm just going to get some final cards before I close your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Now, they're showing me a bar of gold. A bar of gold. Now, I can't imagine that you're actually going to receive a bar of gold. I mean, lucky you if you are. Some of you, it may be an indication that you are worth your weight in gold. Could also be that some of you are looking at the economic fluctuations in the world right now and trying to safeguard your finances against inflation. So maybe some of you are actually buying gold with your finances. I definitely see that you're trying to put yourself in a really good position to weather any economic storm. So some of you will be saving or looking at financial institutions where you have your money, just in case there was ever a crash. You may be making sure that you've got them in the right institutions and they're not connected to each other. Okay, that's what I'm definitely seeing there. Thank you so much. That energy is coming up for everybody's reading, to safeguard the finances, because the Queen of Pentacles is like to conserve, to protect. So some of you may even be thinking about working from home as well, but they're showing me this gold bar. So, okay, they just want one more, so I'll give it to you. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? I mean, you may see symbols of a gold bar over the next 6 weeks or so on a billboard or on in a movie, and this represents you knowing your worth. And because sometimes we settle for less than we truly deserve, and I really feel that you are trying to make changes in your career so you get the best out of a situation to elevate and bring in more finances. Okay, now we have the Gift Okay. Okay. I'm going to read the card first, and they showed me a word in the water, which I will give to you now in a moment. It says giving and receiving, sudden windfall, generosity, financial support, work surprise, vacation. Okay. I mean, the Tower energy definitely means like a surprise. I feel like it's a good one. Okay, because it's clarified by so many interesting cards that highlight there is success here. And some of you also definitely may feel that you've been working so hard that you need a vacation, okay? But the word they're giving me in the water is fuse, F-U-S-E, F-U-S-E, fuse, okay? So this could be that you're close to burning yourself out, or it could be the name of a company that you're trying to set up, or maybe the word fuse is actually in a company that you work for, that name. It could also be that someone is, trying to push your buttons at work and you feel that you've had a short fuse, but you're finding a way to respond differently to a difficult circumstance or situation. So please take it as it resonates. Don't know really what fuse could mean other than that. I can only see the images and tell them to you and try and decode them. They may mean nothing to me and you in this moment, but suddenly everything becomes apparent and slots into place. So look out for the word fuse. I mean, it could literally be that you are actually reading a document right now and you read the word fuse in the document and I saw it in the water. So we'll leave it there. We got skull. Okay, so definitely major transformation happening in your career. It says here, rough patch, borrowing money, low on cash, hospice, healer, no work, reinvention. So if you found that you've come to this reading and you'd lost your job or you've been made redundant and you found it very difficult to find a job, there's definitely one coming on in. The Ace of Wands, you may have waited a long time and you may have felt like the job market is so saturated that there's nothing really exciting available to you, or even, the pay may be so stagnant that you feel, I can't live on that. That's all about to change. I just want you to be aware of that. But I feel if you have been going through a rough patch, you've gone through a Seven of Pentacles, which is, difficulty, finding an alternative way of doing something and bringing in more money. Some of you may even set up second streams of income because that is you got a card of duality there with that Seven of Pentacles, but also the Lover's card came out. So some of you may be actually working in an environment that you work for other people and also doing your own thing as your own business on the side. And whilst it's difficult and you may feel sometimes you're spreading yourself thin, it will be rewarding. The thing that you do for yourself, your passion project, is the thing that will take off and will bring lots more money in, okay? We've also got hand. So this says manifesting money. So even though you may have felt like you've been going through a rough patch, you are bringing in more finances, reaching goals, financial assistance, hands-on work, and help getting a job. So again, all the energy that's been in this reading, there's definitely a change for the better in your career circumstances and in your financial circumstances. Even though it's been a bit of a struggle, I feel, there is change and it is good. So I'm just going to pull a trinket for you okay. They're giving me a song. They just gave me a burst of a song actually, and I'd love it if they could play it again. Could you please give me that song again? Thanks so much, I'm so grateful. Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. Oh wow, that's a very famous song. Oh gosh, who sings that song? I want to say it's Tom somebody, but I can't think of it. I mean, I know a lot of songs, but I can't know them all, and I can't think of them in the moment as well. That's my problem. So I'll have to look that up, but it's a very famous song. I think it's like I Won't Back Down. I think that's what it's actually called. So perhaps you're fighting against something, or you're standing your ground on something in your working environment and you're not backing down. And because of it, you're actually going to get your way. You're going to get your goal, okay? We do have the key. It's got the triascaline there, which means you are moving forward. You're unlocking something for you. And again, I feel the end of March, something big is happening for you in your career that opens up a whole new set of rules, regulations, and exciting practices, exciting times. Okay. Yeah, because they're showing me the tulip on the end of the key, I really feel that as you move into April, something really rewarding is headed in your direction, and you're going to be so proud of yourself because you did this, whatever this is. So I feel like you're unlocking a new door and you're moving forward. Okay, I feel it's a new chapter for you, and it's very, very exciting. So I'll leave it there. I hope something does resonate in this reading for you. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Gemini. Love and light.